everyone, welcome back to Shra Coder. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating topic of Python, which is Lambda functions. So, have you ever come across these one-liner functions and wondered why would anyone use this instead of a regular function? Well, by the end of this video, you will not only understand them but also master them like a pro. So let's get started. So first of all, what are lambda functions? So lambda functions, also known as enormous functions, are functions that you can define without giving them a name. Unlike regular functions that use the def keyword, lambda functions use the lambda keyword, right? Let me show you a simple example. In this slide, I have written here def. A regular function is there, def add 10, and in parentheses I have given the parameter x that will return x plus 10. So this is our regular function, but in lambda function, in one line we have created the function which is add 10 lambda is equals to lambda, then x is to x plus 10. So when you will print add 10, then you will give value, both will print the same, but the easier function, the one-liner, would be lambda function. The lambda function is always written in one line. So you can see how this is written with lambda functions, right? Then what are the keywords, key features of lambda functions? So use the lambda keyword instead of def. So in regular function we use def, whereas in lambda we use lambda, right? Then these are ideal for short one-time use functions. Wherever you want to make a function but you also want to use it one time only, you can use these. It is short and say it will save your time if you don't want to use that function, right? Then concise and powerful for inline operations, right? So these are the key features of lambda functions. So now let's talk about syntax of lambda functions. That it's so easy to write a lambda function. Like simply we have to write lambda, then we have to give two arguments, for example x and y, then colons, then the thing we want to do through the function. Like here I want to do the addition of two numbers, so here x plus y. So simply this is the syntax of any lambda function. This is the basic syntax, right? To remember, I am writing here as syntax so that all of you can understand this, right? Next, let's run this using a code example. For example, let me write result, right? I'm writing as a result, the variable is result, then in brackets I am giving this function. Simply I am copy pasting from here, right? Paste it here. Then what I have to do, I have to give two arguments for which numbers I want to add. Like here I'm adding 19 plus 10, right? No, we will not give plus here, we will give 10. We want to do addition, but we will give it, separate them using commas in this bracket. Then next will be print the result, right? Okay, this is pretty simple. Next one. So here the answer we have. So these codes are very easy to make, the function is very easy to do, and the most and the important question that occurs in everybody's minds, that why we should use lambda functions over simple normal functions, right? Def functions, why we cannot use here, means we can do that, we can do this using that function also, but these functions are used when you have to write a small function. For example, when we are working with functions like map, filter, reduce, so you will not get it like that. Let us see how we work with these built-in functions, right? So the first built-in function is map. So first of all, what does map do? So a map basically applies a transformation to all the elements of a list. So here we are talking about list. So first we have to create a list here. So I am creating a list of numbers, and remember what we used to make a list, square brackets, right? Then 1 2 3 4, any number you want to give. So I'm making a list of 5 numbers here. Then I want to have squared numbers. I want square of these numbers, so simply write squared. You can give any variable, but to make you understand I am giving these. Then I list, then use map function, then create lambda inside, right? Lambda, then argument. What is the argument? X, right? X, then the situation, x, then double multiplied by 2. So this is the thing we will give. Then numbers, right? Then what we will print squared. See, so you get the squared numbers, right? And you are getting it in our list also. So this is how it works. You can see if I remove this, let's try to remove this, right? Now see, it will not work because we will have the list only. Got it? So this is how map function works, right? So you can have any squared number using this. So this is a very short function which is used very well in map, right? Next is filter. So what does filter do? The function filters elements based on condition. For example, let's check for even numbers, right? List, I am using this one only. Okay, so this is the list, right? Then even numbers, even, simply write even, right? Then what will write first is list, then filter, right? Then we'll give the condition of ours in lambda x, then the condition x is multiply, percentage sign is for divide by 2, so it will give us 0, then only it is an even number, comma, then numbers, right? So this is how it will be having in condition. Next we'll print even. Let's see what it gives. 2 and 4, and only 2 and 4 are even in this. So it is very well to use, like for to make a program of even and odd number checker, it maximum takes 8 to 10 lines, right? But here I have made that program in 3 lines, just 3 lines. So how simple it is, right? So this is why we use lambda functions. So now we will compare between lambda functions and regular functions, because we also need to know what's the comparison between both of them, and it's important for all of you to know that. So first let's create a regular function. All of you know in my previous video I have detailed it with every important topic on functions of regular functions, right? So using def we create the regular function, and I am here creating for multiplication, right? Multiply, then parameters, in parentheses what we give is parameters, right? So give x and y, then colons, simply return x multiplied by y, right? This is the function. Now if I want to run it, what I have to give it, I have to call that function multiply 5 comma 5, right? Simply name multiply. Okay, here I am having the error, right? So you can see this function is working properly. Now let's create this same function using lambdas. So multiply lambda, right? Lambda sorry, x comma y, then colons. What is the condition here? X multiplied by y, right? This is what is the condition. Now next, what we will give? Tell me what we will give. Comma 5 and 5. It will work. It will work. What we have to do then? We don't give it here. These are the common mistakes that people do. So next, what I have to do here is I'll simply write print multiply underscore lambda, and here then you have to give the things, but first we have to put them in brackets, then only it will work. Unless it will not work, right? What we have to give then? This 5 comma 5. Now see, is that same? Now you tell which one is more readable, which one is more easier to create. Tell me. I know lambda functions are easy but still a little bit confusing, but if you get it once, these are damn easy to crack anything. You know that? So these are very well, we have compared between regular functions and lambda functions. So that's all for today. We covered everything from the basics of lambda functions to their advanced cases. Now it's your turn. Try using lambda functions in your projects and share your experience in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Shreya Coder, and hit the bell icon for more amazing Python tutorials. See you next time. Bye bye.